Hi everyone, today I give a lecture on program and policies on elementary education. It comes under 304.1 Educational Management, Administration and Leadership in Elementary Education. Okay, the first unit consists of 4 bullet points. It's related to the first one is conceptual definitions and second one is Panchayati Raj and community involvement. And different organizations are different institutions, the local community institutions participation in education. And third one is the national level primary education program of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. And the fourth point is related to Right to Education Act 2009. So today we will discuss about the first and second bullet points, and another lecture on. I will plan another lecture on Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and another lecture on Right to Education Act, because all four are different, but the first 2 points are related to, it's correlated to one and each other. So that's why first and two I make it a one video. So now we'll start with the conceptual. First of all, I will give you some brief introduction about programs and policies of elementary education in India. After Indian independence, many programs are there and many commissions, even in immediate after Indian independence, appointed the Radhakrishnan Commission and even Kothari Commission and 1986 and even 1992 POA, and the continuation programs of DPEP and APEP and many state governments programs are there until unless up to 2000, the new millennium year. But our education or a literacy level, we are not achieve even 100%. So the government of India thought, and they can start a different the important programs like Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and even nowadays we are called as what do you call Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. And even in 2020 we are having a new education policy. It's the new education policy. It's come up with a new ideas and intervening our Indian education, especially in school education programs. The right to education is a major breakthrough in Indian education. And based on this, at present, all policies are framing and implementing also. So we'll start with some of the conceptual definitions in education sector or education management or education field. So now I am share my PPT. With PPT, I will try to explain and continue my lecture. So this is the paper title, and the first unit is programs and policies on elementary education. Okay, the unit one, I'm already give my description about the unit. The first one is conceptual definitions. Now we will discuss about the conceptual definitions, and the second one is Panchayati Raj and community involvement. Okay. So I'm already give you some basic information related to elementary education after Indian independence or Indian scenario. In 1946, our literacy rate is around only 16%. In those days, we are called as the primary education into 1 to 5 and upper primary 6 to 8 classes. In in 1976, the education policy implications were determined legally by each Indian constitutional states, especially in 42nd Amendment Act to Constitution in 1976 made education is a concurrent subject. Concurrent subject means it's a responsibility of state and center. From the point of view on the center and state government shall formal responsibility for the funding and administration of education. It's simply in our understanding for implementation or providing education is the responsibility of both state and center. no other way. So if the center will take any decision, the state will compulsorily follow. If any small changes and all, the center will accept and give funding and assistance for the education programs. When invited to discussion on education policy, must a Indian policy makes continue to refer to the 19 education policy as a key. Still today we are based on 19 education policy. Okay, and indeed the most recent policy text that continues to guide programs and actions. Based on that, many after 1986 we are bringing a lot of changes in our Indian education system. So we'll discuss already in POA, Plan of Action is 1992, and after that even the primary education programs like district DPEP, district education elementary education programs, and some of the states APEP, Andhra Pradesh state education programs like that. Many programs are there, and we will continue. The second way of viewing policies identify the large scale of funded programs with the implemented in practice based on 1986. A third way of exploring the education policy in India is through legislation. Whatever through legislation, you can change anything. In the matter of access to the elementary education, the Right to Education Bill in 2009. Now in 2020, Government of India implementing new education policy from 2020 1st September. Maybe some of the states are ready immediately, they can adopt it and implement it, or some of the states are implementing from the coming year from 2021. So as per our syllabus, we are having the first bullet point is conceptual definitions. Conceptual definitions are the three important definitions are there: educational organization, education management, and the third one is educational administration. Now we are one by one we will discuss about what is educational organization. The educational organization has multiple meanings according to the field setting with the being applied. In education, in educational psychological, educational organization is organizing within the scope of education. It deals with the theory of organization as it applies to the education of the human mind. In school reform, educational organization is the way an educational system operates. The educational organization may also refer to a non-profit agencies providing education services. This definition is given by Wikipedia because nowadays everybody using online libraries. So I will take one definition. If you want, you can take any definition from any book or any person. And the next one is educational organization, means any organization within the state that not organized for profit, the primary purpose of which is to educate and develop the capabilities of individuals through instruction by means of operating or contributing to the support of school, academy, college, or university. So educational organization means it's a non-profitable. In educational organization, just you can think of educational organization means it's a non-profit organization. You are not expecting any profit, but you can to develop capabilities of individuals through instruction. That means operating, contributing to their support to the schools, academic, colleges, and universities. So this is about educational organization. And the second one is educational management. What is education management? Education management refers to the administration of the education system. It's simply we are administer or simply manage the education system for effective or smooth functioning. System in which group combines human and material resources to supervise, plan, strategies, and implement structures to execute an education system. It's nothing but we are simply execute the smooth working of the a system. A system is nothing but education system. So this is called education management. Education is the equipping of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, habits, and attitudes with learning experiences. The education system is an ecosystem of professionals in educational institutions such as government ministries, unions, statutory bodies, agencies, and schools. All are comes under education management. Education management. The education system consists of political heads, principals, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, administrative personnel, and other education professionals working together to enrich and enhance. With all these people, we are working together to enrich means to develop the or improve the education system or service to the common people. For this purpose, we are using a management system. So the management system we are called as education management. And the next one is important definition is educational administration. That is, education management is managing the things. Now, educational administration, how to administer means what are the theories or what are the policies are there, how to implement and how to implement and how to achieve our educational goals. So this is the basic difference. So now we will take the definition. Educational administration is a discipline within the study of education that examine the administrative theory and practice of education in general and educational institutions and educators in particular activities. Education administration is regarded as the process of integrating the appropriate human and material resources that are made available and made effective of achieving the purpose of program of an educational institution. The term administration does not refers to any single process or act. It is a broad umbrella encompassing number of processes such as planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, controlling, and evaluating the performance. This much of processes are there in the educational administration. The same situation occurs in the field of educational administration. The concept of educational administration is applicable in the case of an educational organization which has certain process of goals to fulfill. What is our goal to fulfill? To achieve 100% literacy rate and improve the learning levels in the students or learners. So this is the main objectives of educational administration also. So now for last few minutes, we are discussing about the three important definitions: educational organization, educational management, and educational administration. Educational organization for an institution, and second one is educational management is management within the institution or within the system, and third one educational administration means the entire educational system, and from the theory to practice. So these are all three important conceptual definitions under education or educational system. So now we are moved to the second important point it's related to, because now we are discussing about the three important definitions, and it's continue with the elementary education, how and what way we are improving, what are the procedures, what are the institutions are responsible. All these things now we are discussing in the second bullet point, that is Panchayat Raj and community involvement. Panchayat Raj and community involvement. Because in India is most of the people are living in villages. Villages are managed by the Gram Panchayats or Panchayats, depend upon the state level. They different nomenclature, but everybody can understand the Panchayats are the village administration. The village administration in India we are called as Panchayats, and with the Panchayats are doing with the help of community involvement. There are many functions are there. After 1992, in 1991 and 92, the constitutional amendment of 72 and 73, that is Panchayats and Nagarpalikas. Based on that, the education responsibility is given to Panchayat Raj or gram panchayats. In the gram panchayats also, we are having different levels of hierarchy is there. VECs, SMCs, CRCs, BRCs, and DITEs. Every organization or every unit of is having their own role and functions for educational planning, management, and related issues. Now we are discussing about one by one. This is the organizational setup for education system or management system in state level. Ministry of School Education, Principal Secretary, State Project Director, Additional State Project Director, Joint Project Directors, Coordinators, Finance Controllers, and System Analysts. So this is in the top level. This is in the top level, that is the state level. And organization set up in the district level. District Project Coordinator, Coordinators, Block Project Coordinators, EMIs, units, joint block project coordinators, and come to the school management committees, that is SMCs, and VECs, village education committees. These two are in the village level. Okay, and monitoring mechanism, government bodies, executive committees, district level, block level, village level, and school management committees. This is the government bodies means in the state and center, and executive committees also both in the state and center. And after that come to the root level. The base level is another level is district level, next block level, and finally the root level is village level. And the village level we are having VECs and SMCs. So these two are there, we will discuss. So Panchayat Raj, we already discussed about all these things. The involvement could be health, education, social security in the Govinda is already quoted in 2003. Okay, so community involvement, participation like community. The participation is also used in different ways. What are the different ways? Community, in simple terms, by participation, we mean taking part or involvement of the people in any meaningful activity. What is meaningful activity here? We improve the education system. Literacy, literacy rate. The term of participation should be viewed as a context specific expression based on the degree of involvement of the people to bring certain changes with the basic objectives of involvement of the people, to bring certain system changes with the basic objectives of the bringing forth development and improvement in the quality of life of the participants, to improve the quality of life of the participants. So the involvement could be for what aspects? Health, education, social security, etc. So all these things are quoted by R. Govinda and his team et al. In 2003. The community involvement means it's a meaningful productive work. Meaningful productive work, even in panchayats and Panchayat Raj institutions and community involvement in this way. From the above discussion, diversity in the concept of participation participation may be highlighted in the following ways. Participation in each, both passive and active. The community participation in passive and active. Those who are in the outside the system, they can support to the system. Also, some of them, they are very active and they can support. In passive participation, people participate by being told that is going to happen or already happened. The second one is participation can be legislated or self-mobilized, or either legislations or the government or GOs, government orders, or even policies, and are the community, they can take their self-initiation. What is the second point? Following constitutional provision, several participatory structures have been created to promote various forms of participation. For example, 73 and 74 constitutional amendments have recommended for setup of local bodies and for their involvement in the providing education and other services. And the third one is participation by providing information or material contribution. Further, sometimes the people participate by providing information such as research and other and do not have participatory to influence of the proceedings as the findings of the research are neither shared or checked for accuracy. These are three important factors for participatory approach. What is the first one? Participation can be both passive and active. Participation can be legislated or self-mobilized. And the third one, participation by providing information or material contribution. And the next important area is community structures of and functions. What are the community structure and functions? Now we'll discuss. The community participation is education can be understood properly by examining the existing community structures and functions in education. In the past independent India, there have been uh, constant effort in terms of new policies and programs for promoting community involvement in education, including literacy. In the case of Constitution of India has played an important role in providing direction and guidance of seeking community involvement in education. The following sections are specify the constitutional provisions and the policy measures and examine the improvement grassroots level community structures and their functions are VECs, SMCs, and CRCs and BRCs and DIET. These are all according to our syllabus. We will now discuss one by one. Role and functions of educational planning and management related to the policy framework of community participation in education. 73-74 Constitutional Amendment Acts have emphasized introduction of democratically elected bodies at district, sub-district, and panchayat levels. The Act is also provides adequate representation of women, scheduled caste, and scheduled tribes. The 11th schedule of the Constitution, among their things, interests the panchayat bodies with the responsibility of looking after education, including primary and secondary school, technical training and vocational education, adult and non-formal education, library and cultural activities following the Constitution Amendment Acts have been made mandatory for the state to constitute through legislation elected local self-government at district and sub-district levels in the both rural and urban areas to plan and administer development activities in their respective jurisdiction. Consequently, the state have taken legislative actions to constitute panchayat structures as local elected government bodies and have intended decentralization of government with the respect to education, health, and infrastructure. So this is we are already discussed in the second semester in the decentralization of education. And the third one is the National Policy on Education 96 and Program of Action revised in 1992 have emphasized the importance of decentralizing planning and management of education at all levels and people participation in the education. The pursuance of the policy and program of action, the state government have taken steps to set up structures for decentralized planning and management. It is expected that as a part of the decentralization, local communities through appropriate bodies would get involved and improving the functions of schools. The formation of village education committees, that is VECs, and various other participatory structures and their involvement in education is result of the constitutional commitment and policy recommendations. And the second one is the relationship between Panchayat Raj institutions and community structures. This is briefly, I can give you the point wise. Or I will discuss now. The Constitution 73 and 74 Amendment Act 1992 has accorded statutory status of self-government known as Panchayat Raj system and has ensured it is ensured it with the tasks of looking after primary and secondary education. This is already we are discussed after Constitution Amendment Act 73 and 74, the popularly known as Panchayati Raj and Nagarpalikas, to ensure and take care of the education system, the primary and secondary level at root level or root level especially. The CABE means the CABE, Committee on Decentralized Management of Education, suggested constitution of village education committees. Constitution of Education Committees, CABE. CABE is recommended Central Advisory Board of Education. So this is a constitutional body. It's recommended the village educational committee at the village level and the Panchayat Standing Committee on Education at intermediate and district level. The committee delineated the roles and functions, organizational and administrative support of VECs, and participation and training requirements of them. It will take care of training and participation of the village education committees. The state have formulated guidelines for the formation and involvement of the VEs in the elementary education with adequate representation to panchayat bodies, since the VEC is considered to be an integral part of the overall panchayat administration of the elementary education as envisaged in the 73 Constitutional Amendment Act. It is important to understand the linkage between panchayat institutions and VECs in the terms of the following. What are the terms? Now we'll see. Representation of the panchayat members and VECs and other community fora, rules and functions performed by the panchayat members in primary education, statutory provisions and actualization, the networking of the panchayats and government and non-government bodies. The community structures in education. What are the real community structures or involvement structures in the educational root level? The community participation have translated into reality and with the creation of village grassroots level structures as village education committees, school management committees, mother teacher associations, parent teacher association, mother association, and women motu groups. Women motu groups for understanding the community stakeholders and their functions in depth. We would concentrate 54 on analysis of VECs and PTAs in the context. The nature and composition of the community fora or forums are VECs and SMCs. Community participation in education formation process involved areas and extension of their operations and role and responsibilities under various educational programs such as DPEP, District Primary Education Program, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. This is we will discuss after this. The next lecture we will discuss about Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Added emphasis has been given to the formation and involvement of VECs and PTA in elementary education with specific roles and functions. The VEC and PTA are the school level community structures set up mainly for improving the functions of schools. They have representation of both the schools and the village community. Although VEC and PTA have been set up for these schools in all states, one may notice variation across different states in their nature and composition, roles and responsibilities, and etc. Why? Because of in India, it's a very diversified country. So every state and every region have their own way of implementation. So that's why the community participation or the community structures are differ from one state to another and one region to another region. especially in south is different, north is different, northeast is different, and west is different, because the diversity of the Indian society and communities is also. Every community and every state have their uh, uh, own problems and own initiations. So that's why the community structures are different from one state to another state. And next one, the fourth one is village administration committees and parent teacher association. So the village education committee, we already discussed. The CABE committee highlighted some of the functions, because the village education committee is recommended by CABE, Central Advisory Board of Education. It's a constitutional body. It's recommended this village education committees, highlighted in some of the functions. Some of the functions of the VEC is following. The first one is generation and substance of awareness among village community, ensuring participation of all segments of the population. So everybody can participate in the village level for education or literacy. Developing teacher, instructor, or community partnership to oversees and managing the effective and regular functions of the schools and centers, and visiting it appropriate statutory and financial authority, means the educational institution, they can visit the appropriate statutory authorities, they can visit. And programs such as DPEP and SSA have specified its roles and functions and have showed greater involvement in the planning and implementation of programs. Some of the functions currently being performed by the VEC under SSA are as follows. Nowadays, the VECs and SSA, the committees, education committees, how it's now we will discuss. Ensure enrollment of the children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. Monitoring school activities for the relation and improving good quality education, to paying special attention to the educational needs of the girls and other disadvantaged groups, to improve facilities in the school, example, compound wall, new classrooms, toilets, toilet and facilities, repair and maintenance, and on the whole, to invite community with the school. Even community with the school. These are the some of the recommendations by the CABE to the village education committees. And some states, along with the PTA and mother teacher association, has also been formed to seek cooperation of the mothers of the children attending the school. This is especially in Kerala, the mother teacher association. Commonly, we are called as PTAs in other states, but especially in state of Kerala, they are called as the parent teacher association. They are called as mother teacher association. They are very strong. They take care of their children education. So maybe that is one of the basic factor or the main factor for the Kerala state literacy also. The Kerala is the stood first place in the literacy in India and compare with other states. So this is a smaller body, as it is membership is confined to the parents of enrolled children only enrolled children, not for all, in the mother teacher association. This is also given adequate representation to the disadvantaged groups and looks after the functioning of the schools. Some of the functions performed by the PTA or MTA, Mother Teacher Association, are as follows. Assisting the teachers in conducting school activities, helping the teachers in conducting door-to-door survey work, assisting the teachers to pursuing the parents unenrolled children for sending them to the school, and providing feedback to the teachers about educational programs of their children, educational progress of the children, educational progress. The first one is conducting school activities. The parent teacher association or mother teacher association, they can give their support for conducting the school activities. Means smooth running of the school and to some activities, educational activities within the school and outside the school also. For that purpose, they can give their support. And the second one is helping the teachers to conducting door-to-door survey works related to education only. Related to education. Assisting the teachers is pursuing parents for unenrolled, means those who are not enrolled in the schools or maybe dropouts also, for sending them to school and providing feedback to the school about educational progress of their children, how their children are studying, what is their achievement, what is their ideas, and what are their feedback about school and school system and learning levels, and even resources or any problems, all are the part of the parent teacher association responsibilities. And what are the problems generally with the community involvement? Our community is facing the problem. The first one is community mobilization. So this is another big problem. And the village level, the community mobilization for education, it's very big problem, because they are having their many social problems, their socio-economic status or social status, or maybe even geographical problems, or maybe some other problems. So this is one thing. Next one, community participation. So the community all are not ready to participate in all the activities, and they are take care of their, even for education, the communities take care of their own children only. They are not thinking about even others also sometimes. And community empowerment. You can try to enlighten the communities to empower themselves is also a very big problem, or it's a big issue. And from this entire lecture, I'm now come to a conclusion for these two is definitions of education system and the community participation of panchayat and community involvement. Now I am come to a conclusion. The community participation in education in India can be uh, uh, is mostly is legislated participation. Say mostly is a legislation, means the policy making. As a people participation is being promoted through the constitutional provisions and programs and guidelines, because the legislation is take care of everything. The legislation gives from the from a government in a government policy, so then everybody participates, unless nobody will come and take part in the community activities. Second, constitutional amendments. There have been concentrated effect on their part of central and state governments to decentralize educational governance through Panchayat Raj institutions. The VECs means village education committees with representation from both school and community have been formed. These bodies are getting strengthening under educational programs such as DPEP and SSU. The community participation in education is also intended to focus on the disadvantaged and needy people. With this, I want to conclude my lecture on programs and policies on elementary education and the community participation in Panchayat Raj institutions. So thank you very much. So this is a lecture I will deliver. If you have any doubts and any queries, please let you inform me, or you can give your feedback. I will continue with the next continuation lecture on Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. in the next video lesson. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Ananda.